up your frozen dinners, grab your TV tray, and settle in for another episode of the Plus Platoon, your podcast for all things Disney Plus, brought to you by Disney Plus fans. Watch along with us every week as we cover all the new, the old, the good, and the bad on Disney Plus. So put down that remote, don't touch that dial, and welcome your fabulous Plus Platoon host.
Hey everyone, we're here for a special episode of Plus Platoon where we're going to talk about, basically we're going to do a preview real quick of the Agatha All Along finale. We've all watched through episode 7. Episode 8 and 9 are coming out tomorrow because we're recording this on Tuesday. So, if for those of you following along, there are 3 of them left: Agatha, Billy, and help me out with her name. I know other shows she's been on, but what's the show name in the show?
Jenna.
What?
Jenna.
Is it Jenna?
Pat, are you talking about Patty LaPone's character?
No, the one that's left.
The other one, only the one who's left, the potions gal.
It is Jennifer. Yeah,
It's Jennifer. Okay. And we've got death hovering around out there. So I will say we nailed that in our prediction show, that the character who we all thought was Death all along is Death. And you notice we never actually saw her this episode. We can pretty much guarantee that she's coming back because, let's face it, she's been her versus Agatha fight has been building. So yeah. And the whole, when she, calls you, what was it? When she calls you a coward duck or something like that.
Right.
It was the last thing we heard the Patty LaPone character say.
Right.
So, as I said, we're talking about the preview of Agatha All Along. Real quick, guys, what has been some of your favorite moments so far, especially in episodes 6 and 7? Because we talked about 1 through 5. So 6 and 7. 6 was the Billy flashback episode. 7 was the tarot card readings. So, Kate, I'm just going to go ahead and start with you.
This show is brilliant. Like, this show is so good because a piece of hair just flew in front of me. I think I know what Pete is going to talk about. So I'm going to talk about episode 6, Billy's recap. So good. And what I did once I finished watching 6 and 7, I said to my husband, I was like, I want to watch this show with you. So we went back again. So now I've watched the first 2 episodes 3 times. The foreshadowing in this show is so good. Like, I can't. It's so
and for
good.
the record, it was in WandaVision too.
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the same
writers,
showrunner.
same directors,
I don't
and
think
producers.
that this show is as good as WandaVision. They're so different, though. They're so different. But this
Are
show
they?
is... Huh?
Are they that different?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
But I think this show is dangerously close to WandaVision. This show is my favorite. It goes WandaVision, and then this show's right under it of my favorite of the TV
Marvel
series of the series of Marvel. The Billy episode was so good, and then going back and rewatching the first episode and seeing how it lines up and how like, oh my god, it's so good. Even to where she's like, the body at the front in the very beginning, the body, she's like, yeah, there ended up being a car crash down the street, both the front airbags deployed, but there was only blood in the back seat, and that was from the car that Billy was in. Like, it's just so good. So that, I will say, was probably my favorite, was getting Billy's backstory. Or what's his other name? William? Was that his name?
Yeah, William. Yeah.
I loved getting his backstory. Ooh, excuse me. I could go back and watch this show multiple times. And I'm fairly certain I know what Pete's going to talk about, so I'm not going to talk about episode 7 because I'm going to leave that to Pete.
Well, episode 7 is extraordinarily written television to piece anytime you have that kind of like time jumping character like that, and you put it's best done in a show like this, which is a fairly short form, that
Yes.
Lily's character kind of jumps through time here at the end, and we see flashbacks to the previous episodes where we kind of knew that was going on. At least I thought that's what was going on, is she was like flashing from another time, but like what she said didn't make any sense at the time, but now you're watching it and it's like, oh, that's what she was talking about. So definitely very clever. But the other thing I wanted to comment on is, have you, like, now that you're 7 episodes in, have you really watched the final credits? Because the final credits tell you all this stuff.
Yes.
That when you watch the first episode and watch the final credits, it didn't mean anything. But now you watch it, and even where they put
from Snow White. I mean,
right. Like everything in those final credits means something. And even like where they put the characters' credit names match up with things in the shot of the credits. It's crazy the amount of thought they put into that again, when you watch the first episode, doesn't mean much anything, but by the end you're watching it and you're like, oh yeah, that's near death in Westview is put over Joe Locke's name, right? And so all these moments like that, just a very does a very, very good job. I mean, you think again, thinking back to how poor Secret Invasion was, that the show like barely made sense and like didn't take it. One of the good things about this kind of television series where you have 8 or 9 episodes and it's all contained is you write the entire thing first and then you shoot it. And you can just be really smart with that. And like these writers and the showrunner and everything, just very, very smart with their storytelling. Very good. And I mean, I like, again, maybe I'm going on too long here, but the other thing to mention is, again, it feels like a TV series. Every episode has a reason to be. And we've had 7 episodes and there's been 7 kind of situations that they've gone through, again, like WandaVision, as opposed to even some of the good Marvel shows that just kind of feel like, well, this could have been a movie. I mean, they really could have taken out some of the filler and made a 2-hour movie. What?
Loki.
Yeah, Loki, I think Hawkeye, even Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They they threw a whole bunch of characters into that to turn it into a show, but I think if they'd pared it down, it could have been a really good movie. And instead they turned it into a pretty good TV show. So Steve, go ahead.
Same thing as Kate and Pete said. Episodes 6 and 7 have by far been my favorite. 7, probably my favorite, just how well it was put together and they tied everything together. Actually, I'm really surprised because I know you're not big into timey-wimey things, that you like 7 so much, but just but
it wasn't actual time travel, so
right.
I mean, but essentially she's bouncing from place to place. That, and then I know our next little question coming up, Pete said something that just made me go, oh, just well done. I like all the visual references. I was pointing out to my other half, like he didn't pick up on that it was a hag from Snow White, but there's one part where she's just holding the apple perfectly in the background, and it's like almost like you said, a copy of the credits. Like, oh, okay, yeah. What about you, Derek?
I think I've liked this so far, to be perfectly honest. Horror-y stuff and scary stuff is usually not my bag at all. And I will say there are times that this is about hit my limit. Honestly, not episode 6 and 7, but some of the earlier ones. There were a couple, especially the one where they were doing the Ouija board.
No,
that one
trial.
where Wanda was possessed by, where Agatha was possessed by her mom, was right at my. I think we discussed this the last time we talked about this, but was right at my limit. I I like the tie-in to all this stuff, and I have a bunch of predictions that we'll get to here in just a little bit. But some of which as I said, it's glad to prove that we were accurate from when we did the predictions of 5. That help me out with the character who actually did end up being Death.
Rio.
Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah, Rio. Okay. So, yeah, as I said, this one, I think I've liked it. I honestly won't know if I liked it until I've watched the last 2 episodes. And that's where I'm at, is I will either like it or I will forget it.
Please don't be She-Hulk. Please don't be She-Hulk.
Oh, gosh, no. Oh, if it goes She-Hulk, I think Marvel may honestly have a complete riot on their hands if it breaks that fourth wall like that.
No, I don't think that'll happen.
Yeah,
I think that'll happen.
But you know what? But here's the thing. If Catherine Hahn, not to say that the actress who played not to say that the actress that played She-Hulk was bad, because she isn't. The writing was bad.
Yeah.
But I think that Catherine Hahn could pull off a teeny tiny fourth wall break.
I don't
want. I think she is that good.
No, because it would completely ruin any kind of WandaVision tie-in and tie into this and tie into future projects.
She did fourth wall break in WandaVision though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she did. There was one point where she did. Yeah.
Well, in the Agatha All Along song. Yeah.
Right.
And
I killed the dog too.
Well, except did she though? Because Ralph Boner came on and said he killed the dog.
Yeah.
So, which kind of brings us to some of the finale predictions, and I'm going to come up with several of these.
Can we give a shout out to that awesome T-shirt she was wearing?
Oh yes, the Boner family reunion.
Which, by the way, when you go back and watch the first season, she is not wearing that shirt.
No, she's not.
She's not wearing that shirt.
No, Okay, so
the first episode.
Correct.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because she's all in her delusion land.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. So, we're going to go through several predictions. One, I think that in episode 7, I know you said her name, but the potions gal is going to die. Or episode 8, the potions gal is going to die at the end of that.
Don't think so.
I think that tracks, because I think the end with it being Billy and Wanda, Billy and Agatha and Rio being the last 3 that are left, that completely tracks for me.
I think Lillian's comment at the end of this episode though says that Jennifer.
There's going to be a showdown between Rio and Agatha.
Well, no, there's definitely going to be a showdown between Rio and Agatha, but I think Jennifer survives. I think that character survives because of, I forgot what she said to her, but it's like something like "you're the traveler" or something like that.
Okay,
I think that's indicating that she is going to make it out. In fact, if I was betting money, I'd put her character's survival above Agatha's. Not that I think Agatha's going to die, but
see, that's my next one. Is thumbs up or thumbs down? Agatha's going to die.
No,
I think Agatha dies.
I don't think so either. Just because.
Okay, no. I think Agatha dies because she wants her power back, but that lets her be able to go see her son.
I don't think she has that much. I don't think she has that. I don't know.
Unless she sacrifices herself to save Billy, but even that I don't see.
Okay,
that's not Agla's character.
No,
Billy survives as Billy Maximoff.
Yes,
I think that's a yes, mainly because of that. Then leads into the Young Avengers.
Yeah, I think we see that character in future stuff.
I do too. Okay, we find the brother. I think we find out how to get to the brother. I don't know that we actually find the brother.
I would agree with that.
I would go with that. Yeah.
Okay. We see Wanda again.
No. I don't think they would pay Elizabeth Olsen for that. I think she's expensive.
But they don't necessarily have to show her. It could be a double.
Okay, that's one of the funnier things you've said is that Marvel cares about a budget.
I think
So,
possibly
I
it might not be actually Olsen. It could be the back shot or something, allowing them to set up things.
okay. I'm still going with this one. Agatha is actually out of her spell.
Is she out of her spell? Is that what you're asking?
I'm gonna say
That's what I'm
yes.
asking.
I think
Is
yes
she
because
actually out of the spell from Wanda?
Good question.
I don't think she is, because of a lot of the stuff she keeps thinking about and keeps not remembering what actually happened and remembering other stuff.
So you think that this is all still a dream?
Yes, because the whole time is an illusion. I think this is either Hearst has sat and watched this on TV, almost a Newhart type thing. Like it's been not quite a dream, but I think she is not actually been released from her spell.
I didn't even think
You know
about
what?
that.
didn't think
That
about that
would
either.
tie into. So when Pete said all the credits, the last parting shot of all the credits is the title.
Every
So
single
full
time.
disclosure, I haven't watched I haven't watched any of the credits.
What?
What?
Oh,
I
Did
skipped.
yes,
I
but the
always
last
skip to the next
last parting
episode.
shot, the last shot of all the credits
You
is
should watch.
is
You
the
should watch
title,
all the credits.
Is the actual title. So
which would tie back into you.
I'm not think I think that's the type of thing that Marvel would throw at us, is that Billy has done this because, again, the whole "I'm not that nice" type comment, that Billy has done this to get what he wants and has not really freed Wanda. The whole "have you ever really walked the road?" I think that is the kind of end of show thing that Marvel would throw at us.
It is, but they're not. I could be wrong, but I don't think they're hinting at that. I mean, obviously, the road itself has been more from Billy's.
It's been Billy walking the road.
It's been Billy's past than Agatha's past, but I don't know if they're going to do that. I'm not convinced. It's
Not sold on that.
It's not
one.
a bad idea though. So I won't say it can't happen, but because I think I think you could successfully land that as an ending and have it work.
Okay.
So, but
There's one I've thought of. Wanda already has all of Billy's powers though, because remember when he tried to use it at her in episode 6, at the end of episode 6, and he could not come up with his blue powers. When he used it on her, she absorbed it already.
Well, I think he didn't use. I think the reason he didn't try to use it on her is he knows she can absorb powers.
That's right. He just shoved her off, didn't he?
So that's he had the other two women throw her off.
That's right.
He took control of them instead of her.
That's right. I forgot that part.
Yeah.
And then he used it on them.
And then he used it on them to zap them into the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I assume we're gonna have to see Billy's trial in the next episode. Because he's the only
Actually, Billy won't have a trial though, because Billy is not one of the coven. He's the pet that they brought along.
I disagree though. That was what Agatha said, but I think he's part of the
Black Heart.
Right.
He's the Black Heart.
He's the Black Heart. Yeah.
Because that was definitely telegraphed in when he was texting with his boyfriend.
Yeah.
That was displayed out there.
Yeah.
For Marvel, that was a billboard.
Yeah, and the producers like said that afterwards. They said, "Yeah, Billy."
That's true. And Mrs. Hart never made it alive, so there is a trial, another trial coming.
And Billy and the producers have also said everyone who has died already is actually dead, and including the Salem 7. So the Salem 7 are the producers actually came out this week and said the Salem 7 are dead.
I assumed that from the end of that episode that was the case.
So they will not come and be in effect in the end.
Right. But so I think episode 8 is Billy's trial, and then I think episode 9 is the showdown with Rio.
Thing is, episode 8, we also haven't had I and I cannot remember her name, the potions gal. We have not had her trial
Jennifer.
yet either.
No, that was the first trial.
Oh,
Yes,
that was the first trial.
Hers was the wine one.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, then we need Billy's trial. I mean, you
Yeah.
are right on that. And if you think about the tarot cards, it's basically, it sets up as a pentagram with something in the middle.
Right.
There are shots, I really try not to look at previews, but there are shots of Billy standing in the middle of a pentagram with like a circle around it type thing that I don't think we've seen yet.
Yeah.
So I think that may come from his trial. I think you have to have him. Okay. Then what? Okay. So we're all looking at episode 9. What happens in 8 then? Because I think someone has to die in 8.
That's why I'm thinking Jennifer.
I don't think so. I think we're done killing characters. I think 8 is Billy's trial. They all survive it. It ends with the like confrontation with Rio because Agatha survives to the end.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah. Well, it's not a cliffhanger, but like popping into episode 9.
Well, there has to be something big revealed.
There's a big reveal in 8. There's some sort of a big reveal in 8.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to begin predicting because this show has thrown me for so many loops that I could sit here and try, but
it hasn't confused me that much. Most of the stuff is not out of the realm of, to me, this episode 8, if it's traditional Marvel, it's going to have something going to go, wait, what the hell are you talking about? So far, everything that we've had has been within the realm of possibility.
sure. But I'm just saying, I think I like that I don't have a prediction because I think I like that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not, as I said, other than Billy, I'm not convinced anyone survives. Well, I don't know how you kill Death. I assume Death survives.
Well, yeah.
In some form or another. But yeah, no, and the other thing that's interesting is like they kind of they telegraphed things like we all kind of figured out that Billy was going to be Wanda's son, and we kind of, you had that prediction that Rio was going to be Death, and that had been online, and like we knew these things were coming, but it was still like, yeah, all right, we were right, as opposed to, oh, that was predictable. I think that I think they've written everything in such a way. So I'm kind of with Kate, like I can make guesses, but I really don't know exactly what's going to happen. As I said,
and I also want to encourage everyone, and I'm going to say this again when we do our recap episode, when we have watched all of it, go back and rewatch the show again. And then go back and rewatch it again, because there's I remember going back and rewatching the first episode after I'd only watched the first 3. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so good. And then I went back and rewatched, and I'm like, oh my God, they told us everything. Like, they told us everything. It's right there, but we didn't see it. So that's where I'm at, is once we finish all of it, I'm going to go back and rewatch all of it again.
Yeah.
So.
Any other predictions, guys?
It's gonna be good.
It's gonna be great.
Well, that's debatable. But anyway, guys, we're gonna do something special with this one. We are gonna do a live watch party this Wednesday. We're gonna start at 8:55 p.m. Eastern, because the shows come out at 9 p.m. Eastern. At least Pete, Steve, and I are all gonna be watching it live, and including your, guys, including your comments. We're going to be giving you our initial reactions to episodes 8 and 9. Yes, it's going to be a late night for those of you on the East Coast. Sorry, but not sorry. And we are going to truly do this, so you can see how we react to things live, and you can, guys, give your input. But we'll have a little bit of a break after episode 8, just because I'm sure we'll all need to catch our breath. But we're going to do a live watch party tomorrow night, 8:55 p.m. or tonight, if you're listening to this on Wednesday, at 8:55 p.m. Eastern, to watch the last 2 episodes of WandaVision, of Agatha All Along with us.
Plus Platoon All Along.
Plus the Platoon all along. Yes.
Those dang.
Okay, wait. I got a wild prediction I'm going to make.
Okay.
Episode 9. There's going to be a post-credit sequence.
Well, that's not a big prediction.
It's not. I thought it was so clever.
That's pretty much a guarantee.
Yeah. I know.
So, guys, for Kate, Pete, and Steve, guys,
I hope you guys card.
Guys, I hope you all join us tomorrow night for a live watch along with the Plus Platoon for the Agatha All Along episode 8 and 9 season finale. So we will see everyone tomorrow night. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Plus Platoon. Be sure to subscribe to the Plus Platoon podcast to keep getting great content each week. Then head over to Apple Podcast and leave those 5-star reviews as they help make the Plus Platoon visible to even more Disney Plus fans. Also, go to YouTube and like and subscribe to the Plus Platoon channel, where you can watch all future episodes live. If you have a question for the Plus Platoon, please send us an email to plusplatoon@gmail.com or connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram @plusplatoon.
The Plus Platoon is a Disney Plus fan podcast and is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company or the Disney Plus streaming service. All opinions expressed on the show are solely those of the individual hosts and in no way reflect the views of the Walt Disney Company.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode because the Plus Platoon is to be continued.